A civil society coalition is raising urgent concerns ahead of the Osun state governorship election, warning of an alleged plot to declare a state of emergency. The group claims political thugs are already terrorizing motor parks and that the police have failed to act, while calling on security agencies and the international community to safeguard democracy. TVWest was at the press conference held in Lagos on Tuesday. Ahead of the 2026 Osun State Governorship election, a coalition of civil society organizations for good governance has called for vigilance, expressing concerns over reports of a possible declaration of a state of emergency in the state. At the press conference held in Lagos, the spokesperson of the group, Comrade Chief Declan Hiyekare, said credible intelligence and reports from the state point to what he described as an alleged plot to create insecurity as a basis for imposing emergency rule in Osun. The group equally noted that it has received alarming amounts of specific acts of aggression already unfolding across the state, adding that political thugs have involved motor parks in several parts of the state to instill fear on the citizens and also disrupt economic activities ahead of the polls.
Credible intelligence and disturbing ground reports point to a sinister, well-orchestrated plot to manufacture insecurity as a pretext to declare a state of emergency, suspend democratic governance, and sack the duly elected government of Governor Ademola Adeleke.
The group accused the police of failing to take decisive actions against alleged acts of violence linked to political thuggery, while claiming that despite complaints from citizens, the police has not done enough to protect lives and properties. It's warned that the situation could further erode public trust in the police.
A police force that chooses sides in a political contest ceases to be a neutral defender of peace and becomes part of the country threat. What is happening in Osun State today regarding the role being played by the Nigerian police should be a test to the current IGP that has said severally that he's for the people, that he's for equity, that he's for fairness. So on that basis, the IGP should investigate what is currently happening in Osun State regarding the activities of his men and call them to order. If truly he's for equity, just the way he promised that he's going to do.
Other members of the coalition who spoke at the conference echoed the concerns raised by the spokesperson, calling for neutrality from security agencies and opposition parties to protect the democratic process ahead of the election.
Osun State should not be plunged into crisis. Election should not be do or die affair. At least when Tinubu came into power, he said it's a continuation of Buhari regime. And I remember vividly during Buhari allowed free and fair election in all the states that were conducted. So Buhari was not desperate to win most of those states that were having the election under him.
They should allow peace to reign because women and children are the most affected people during the crisis. We want a peaceful election in Osun State.
One thing about political desperados in Osun State is that one thing they lack the sense of political history. That Osun people are not people you can cow. They are politically and electorally independent. They are independent minded when it comes to election.
The group also called on the federal government and security agencies to remain neutral and prevent any actions capable of threatening democracy in Osun State. It urged the APC to caution its supporters against violence and appeal to the international organizations to monitor developments in the state, warning against any attempt to impose emergency rule or undermine the will of the people. Victoria Ogudande, TVWest, Lagos.